Welcome to sunny Norfolk, England. This is our lockdown project, and what we're going to do today is we are going to fit our log burner into our summer house. So if we go through the parts that we bought a Clarke Barrel stove, a female to female collar that fits into the stove there and connects onto the male part of the vitreous pipe. So in the UK, the male part has to go down the way and it fits into that collar there, which we're going to knock in with a little bit of wood and we're going to seal round with fire cement. Connecting onto the vitreous pipe, we have 125mm to 150mm, an old 1A5 to 6" adapter, which will connect into the twin wall. The twin wall is necessary to go through the roof so we don't set fire to anything, any combustible material, and that twin wall will then connect. This tile will be fitted onto the outside of the roof, go through the rubber collar, aluminium sheeting that will seal down onto our sloped asbestos roof. We also have the rain cap or the rain cowl that will fit onto the top of the twin wall. So by our reckoning from measurements, we'll have about 0.6 of a metre of the twin wall going through out into the open air, and then the rain cap, mesh rain cap going top. Talking about costs, this is May 2020. So we're looking at approximately £280 for the barrel stove. We're looking at approximately £230 for the pipes and the collars, the fire cement, and the fireboard is on top of that. So in terms of all the bits and pieces, including the fireboard, the fire cement, we're looking at approximately £530. What we've done on the floor to raise the level of the fire stove and to put it above any combustible material, because it's a wooden laminated floor, is we used two old concrete slabs. We cemented them together and it gives us a little bit of height as well. Okay, we've got our barrel stove. We've got it on top of 3 slabs, not 2 as I said in the previous video. We just want to check that it's level as much as we possibly can, given the consideration that the floor might not be totally level either. So by and large you can see that with your eye, but you also want to check it with the spirit level. It's slightly out on this edge, but I think that's to do with the floor. What I'm going to do now is knock in the Flue adapter collar and give it as good a seal as possible down into the stove before putting the vitreous pipe into the stove. What we've done in the last hour or so is we have plumb bobbed the centre of the vitreous pipe onto the plasterboard. We have we drilled through the plasterboard and onto the 10mm wooden roof and cut through the felt that was on the roof. So what we did is the twin wall on the outside is 175mm diameter, and what we've done is we've cut out the hole wide enough, 240mm diameter hole in the roof, so that there's enough gap between the twin wall and the rock wool that we're going to put up there, so that nothing connects, nothing is actually touching any plasterboard or any wood. And what we want to do to that is just keep everything as safe as we possibly can. Whilst this is not a habitable house, this is a summer house, we have done a risk assessment and we want to have the installation done in as safe as way as possible. What we've done with the black vitreous pipe, we're about 180mm back from the fireboard. Ideally it would have been possibly a little bit more, but I think that's using common sense and what's reasonable. That's a big enough gap from the fireboard to the actual single wall vitreous pipe. So what I've got here is I've got the 125mm to 150mm adapter. It's got a lockable strap that's been already put on, which has got a really tight fit. And what I'm just about to do is to fit the adapter into the 125mm vitreous pipe. And we'll just let gravity take effect, and that will seat in there. So as you can see, we've got plenty of gap. I can put my hands up there. We've got at least 30mm round the twin wall, which is obviously insulated anyway, so it should not get hot anyway. We're going to put rock wool up there, and we're going to put the cover plate onto the roof and seal it off. What we'll do once we've put the tile onto the roof is we'll seal round here with fire cement, and we'll seal round here with fire cement as well, and we'll get this all really nice and straight. And that's it for now until we do the roof. We're at the stage now of lighting the fire. We've got the stove in place, we've got the single wall into a twin wall adapter into the twin wall through the roof. We cut out the plasterboard with a pad saw, we cut out the 10mm wooden roof with a jigsaw. We're about 0.7 of a metre clear of the roof, we're about 0.3 of a metre clear of the vitreous single wall, and we've used fire cement to seal the single into the twin wall adapter, and we're just about to christen the fire. Here it goes. So what's important is we season the fire. Very small fires for about 20 days on the trot before we start putting big logs in it. The fire appears to have caught, it's away from the sides, we don't want any metal overheating, we don't want any metal cracking. Close the door and it's sealed. And we can see nice flame going, you can see the fire catching. We just want to keep it relatively small fire. We live in a rural area and we coppice the trees now and again in the land, so we have good stores of dried wood that we keep in old bins, and some of the stuff has been there for a good few years. It looks like it's caught, there's a nice flame coming out. Looking forward to get some nice heat out of it on these cold mornings still that we're in May 2020, and looking forward to getting years and years and years of good use out of it. Day 2 of the log burner lockdown project. Yesterday we got all the pipes in, we've got the twin wall here coming through the roof. It's got a good height up above at more than 0.7 of a metre above the roof, so the smoke can clearly has room to just dissipate. Got the rain cap on, got the rubber boot on, we've got the aluminium flashing on top of the roofing felt. What we're doing today is we're sealing round the aluminium flashing onto the roofing felt, and we'll just run that round, and the tiles here are just to keep the aluminium flashing down. It doesn't have to be pretty, it needs to be waterproof. And that's our log burner project done, and really pleased with it. Day 2 of seasoning the fire, all going really well, really worthwhile, brilliant project. I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time in the summer house, and if it's cold outside it's going to be really nice and cosy in there. Thank you. Hello again. Welcome back to Norfolk, England for our lockdown log burner project. We're into day 9 of seasoning the fire. So what do we mean by seasoning the fire? We light a small fire every day so that we allow the fire to expand, the cast iron metal to expand, and the fire is on, and obviously when it cools down it's contracting the metal. So we're effectively training the fire so that it doesn't crack. Yeah, fire has worked really well, really pleased with it. Gives off an enormous amount of heat for not a huge amount of material, wood that we're putting inside it. Like anything else, if you want something out of it, then you've got to put a little bit of effort in. We've had a fire going this morning, there's a bit of ash in there, and we need to obviously clean it out. So we clean it out each evening, sweep it out, clean it out, and we set the fire for the next day. It's worked extremely well so far. One of the best features on it is the air intake. It's incredibly simple to use. We have the air intake fully open so we get the maximum amount of oxygen being drawn into the fire, so we get a good flame, we get good combustion. We leave it there for about 5 minutes so that we get so that it's got good heat build up in it. And once we've got the flames going and good combustion, turn it back, not fully off, but a couple of turns back. So what we want is a fire. We don't want huge flames out of it. We want the fire to burn slowly and to burn for a reasonable amount of time, 2 or 3 hours if possible. We were novices at having log burner fires, so what we wanted to make sure was there was no heat going onto the floor. There's 3 legs effectively on this log burner fire, and what we're finding is these slabs are staying stone cold. They don't get hot in either way, so that's working very well. We want to be as safe as possible. Fires give off carbon dioxide, which isn't a problem. Carbon monoxide is a problem because it's poisonous. So if you don't have complete combustion, fires are going to give off carbon monoxide, which is extremely dangerous. So safety first, we've fitted a smoke carbon monoxide alarm, as you can hear, just to be as safe as possible. We are in the process of setting up the office. We've been painting the walls, we've got a desk here. During this lockdown, been working from home, and the idea is if we continue working from home, we've got a dedicated office set up that's not in the house and it's free from distractions. If we want a little bit of time out, got brilliant views out the windows, we've got the trees and the birds, and it's worked out really well. Really pleased with the project. We spent all in about £550 on it. As far as I'm concerned, money very well spent. I'd like to give a call out to Cowl Fitting Services Limited. They were extremely helpful in terms of advice for the pipes, and they supplied the single wall and the twin wall and the rain cap. Call out to CHRONOS Limited that supplied the Clarke Barrel II stove. Worked really well, really pleased with the way it's worked. It's been a brilliant project to do for the lockdown. It's been very constructive, very productive, and really pleased with it. I hope this video has been informative, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you.